dogs. Come on in. The water's warm, beers are cold. Can I make a U-turn here? I think so. We'll just make a left. Good Memorial Day, man. Had a good one. Had a good Memorial Day. It was fun. Fun in the sun. Fun in the sun. We'll wait till everyone gets in. See who shows up today, boys. And then let's get him charged. What's going on? Let's turn on the Oh boy. Yo, what's up, Bobo? Semper Fi, brother. What's going down, man? Saw those pictures, dude, on Discord, man. Denmark looks nice. It's peaceful, man. The birds chirping. Super peaceful. I'm gonna go get me a little drinky poo. Lady. It almost looks like an ugly dude, but an old lady. I can't tell. It's so weird. Never seen someone like that. Is that a lady? I can't tell. It's like a shaved head Chinese lady, old lady. Anyways, I'll be right back, boys. What's up, trucker? How you doing, brother? I'm gonna go get me a drink. I'll be right back. Hold down the fort, Bobo. Yo, what's up, fam? The commanding officer is getting some rations. He'll be back in a minute. Oh, me. I was like, wait, that's me, man. Got to get some rations, some supplies for our trip, brothers. All right. I'm ready, man. Had a good day yesterday, man. Hung out with the mom and dad, the folks, the parentals. Saw my brother and my nephew play baseball. They lost the championship, but my nephew didn't play good. But the whole team kind of came out flat. But it was fun, man. I got tan sitting around in the sun on a baseball park. Oof, boy. Out in Lake Elsinore, can get hot, man. Fun, good Memorial Day, man. Good day, good time to celebrate it. For the troops. It's all about the troops, man. I have 145 subs now. Nice. I play baseball. Cool. 145, man. That's not bad. Keep going. I had 145 once too. Now I got like, almost 5,000. Just little at a time, man. And it gives you some motivation to keep doing it, gives you something to do, and it builds confidence and ego. Keep doing it, brother. Who knows? I need to get over. The commanding officer's getting some rations. I love that, dude. That was a good one. Yeah, 145 subs. That's not bad. Not a bad start. Keep going, man. You got a long life ahead of you. Success doesn't come overnight. You got to build on top of it. Keep building. Little building blocks every day. Go up and up. I gained 10 yesterday. Nice, brother. Where are we headed today? Oh, man. I'll show you guys the road. Where we're going, we don't need roads. I'll show you the big old highway we're about to dip on. We're going to a little place called, I guess, Yorba Linda. It's a weird name. All I got yesterday was a sickness. Oh, get down with the sickness, brother. We all lose signal. Yeah, we'll just be kind of cruising. I'm headed towards, I'm gonna go for a run. Gonna ice the back, take care of the body. You know how it goes. You gotta go, no worries. Yeah, some days in YouTube you'll have a lot of subs, some days you don't, some days you have negative, people unsub, it happens, man, Can't get down, gotta stay motivated. I guess I can go all the way around. I had a good memorial, man. All the good movies were on. Saving Private Ryan, Band of Brothers, Pacific. All the movies come out. Midway. That one was all right. I have 23 subs and 3 of are me. Nice. That's not bad. No harm, no foul. Dirty money, brother. What's going on? Sip 5, dude. What's going down? Don stripping funds from Harvard to facilitate. Yeah, dude. I Harvard. Did you see the Don? The Don was giving a speech, and Harvard. It was like a week or two ago, and he brings up ladyboys playing sports, and then Harvard says we're still gonna in the room. Harvard stood up and said we're still gonna do this, and Trump looks at her and goes, all right, well, good luck with that. Yeah. Harvard's lost its way, man. If you meet someone from Harvard, that's the first thing I'm going to be thinking about is, oh, no, I can't hire this guy. Yeah. He's going to get political. He's going to get political. We'll hit a little traffic here, boys. Greyhound was a good movie. Oh, Greyhound. That was, yeah, I saw that with Tom Hanks. Yeah, that was pretty good. Tom Hanks can act, man. That dude has a weird son, but that dude can act, man. he almost plays the same role every time, but he's still really good. I mean, Forrest Gump, man. You know, he's the only that didn't go full retard. You know, you can't go full retard. I was reading today that we have a bunch of statues in Denmark that represent the fallen unknown soldier of our past wars. I need to visit. Oh, this summer I'll send, dude. If you give me a Bubba, if you give me some pictures out in Denmark, man, I'll repost them on my YouTube, man. Especially for fallen soldiers. I think that, with your permission, I would like to do that. That would be awesome. I don't want to post anything from another country that I don't represent, or but I would love to do that, man, especially like military stuff, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, stuff like that. That's why it doesn't matter where you're from, or what you fight for, or what country, or what side. It's the troops, man. A lot of those guys that fought for the Danish and in Denmark back in the day and during the World Wars, and then even further back before America was even born. Like, whether they were on the good side or bad side, I can't see Denmark going really bad. If I've learned a little bit of history on Denmark, where they just had problems with Germany and Prussia, which, we've all had problems with Germany, but yeah, man, you always got to represent the troops, because some of those kids that are in that tomb, man, and they probably were either lied to or tricked or just confused, and I was one of them, not knowing what to do with your own life, so you subjugate yourself to another man's idea, but whether then the ones that have fallen have gotten us here. We live off the coattails of other troops, the troops that came before us. And it seems pretty peaceful. I'd be pretty pissed off if the world sucked and I still have to, kiss the ground that, these troops walked on. But, life's pretty good, and a lot of people had to die. A lot of people had to serve their country to get here, and so far, so good, We haven't fought for anything crazy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was the governor of Massachusetts, I think. Oh, yeah. Oh, the guy. Yeah. Dude, my buddy lives out in Massachusetts, dude. And I'm just shocked how liberal they are out there. Shocked. Like, extremely. Dude, people in Massachusetts are more liberal and more woke than people in California. 100%. You can't really be a woke nut job in California. You can. Very hard, though. Very hard. If you've seen Mean Girls, very hard. California is all about sports and girls in bathing suits, and girls in bathing suits are very mean to other girls, and if you don't play a sport in California, you're kind of shushed aside. And people have a great time with that, but I mean, my buddy's daughter, she's like 15. I was talking to her, like, hey, what do you want to do when you get out of high school? Or, because she was born in California. Do you miss California? Do you remember it? And she goes, yeah, I remember, blah, blah, blah. And dude, she's like, I can't, these kids that are in my school are all losers. I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? You can't find a boyfriend or something? She goes, no, like, they're a bunch of pussies. I was like, what? I was like, oh boy, my buddy's a Marine vet with me. So I was like, oh boy, she's got a mouth of a sailor. But she called them like woke faggles, like, I was like, really? The kids in high school like are not manly? And she's like, no, they wear skinny jeans, they paint their nails. I was like, what kind of freaking weird shit? You can't do that in California. You can't do that in California. That's the thing. A lot of people in California is really woke, man. I'm like, all right. We got a lot of Mexican pride out here. Mexican families don't go woke, brother. Yeah. You have my permission to post my pictures? No worries. Dude, I will, man. I want to show some love. And you take little videos, I'll throw them up on my shorts, man. And I'll give you a shout out or something. Maybe get you some subs. Yeah, thank you, Bobo. I appreciate it. Hey, man, if I ever make it in the big leagues on the YouTube and I get a YouTube sponsorship, I'll pay you for being a photographer or someone, I don't, what's that word? Photographer? Yeah. Who knows, man? Give it a year or so. We might be making some money. We'll see, man. That'd be cool. But yeah, dude, the birds chirping, I would love to post it. Thank you, Bobo. I appreciate it, man. Especially Denmark. And if you give me like the Tomb and the Unknown Soldier, brother, I'm all about veterans. And that's the thing, man. It doesn't matter where you fought, what country, even the Germans, dude. The private first class, the Lance Corporal in the German army during World War II. It's like, bro, I get it. Yeah, I think you guys went off the deep end a little bit, but you can't blame the lowest ranking person in their military, man. You got to go after the top leadership, and that's what we did. That's what we do. Even Saddam's army, everyone that surrendered in Saddam's army, we just let go. We're like, all right, you guys are good. Just don't try to kill me. And they go, oh yeah, Mister, yeah. Gotta go. Hey, later, toes. I think Cali residents are coming to their senses. Yeah, I think so too. Dirty money. I really do, man. I mean, in California, you can only do it so far. California, dude, is a red state, man. It's just people vote silly because it can only bullshit in California for so. California is what people think it is. Can't F around out in here. You will be removed, and all by your own doing, because everything, in order to have a family out here, you have to have two parents working all the time. My brother and his wife are busy all day, dude, all day. There's not that. And a lot of people that live in California are relatively new to living in the United States or California. So there's a lot of new money getting pushed in California. If you go to Massachusetts, you got money out there since the 13 colonies. You got families out there that probably been there for 275 years or whatever, 250 years. Here in California, we got still first generation, second generation. My dad's still first generation, I'm second generation. I think that's how it works. So there's just a ton of new money getting funneled in and then getting stuck in California. Because, if I have children in California, my nephews are not going to be able to afford a house until there's no way. A $300,000 house? No way. No one can afford that. Anything above that, forget about it. No way. You're not going to be able to afford that till you're almost 40, and you're going to have a wife, and then you can afford it at 40. So, back in the day, the houses in California were $90,000. My mom and dad bought a house out here in 1987 for $120,000. That ain't ever happening again, Isn't Cali the highest in tax rate? I think New York is. And the taxes, either one. Just the cost of everything and the tax rate is it's hard, man. Like, there's no taking a week off of work. Very rarely. Like, I'm just lucky because while everyone was dicking around in their 18s, 19-year-old body, I was out there taking hand grenades in the trenches. So I got a little leeway, and I'm there's only a select few out here like me. But if you didn't join the military and lived a normal life, there's no time off. Not in California. There's no snow days. There's no Mother Nature, busy, hail, or there's freeways don't shut down. You're going to be working as much as you can, multiple jobs if you can. The gold rush, man. The gold rush. It's still the gold rush. You're just not finding gold. You're, working. Yeah, but it's not, dude. Like other states, I've been like New Mexico. How did New Mexico get blue? Like you would think. Like even you could say the foreigners or the first generation, they come over here and kind of. I don't know, man. I find it really hard to believe. It's weird. I heard there was a shooting at a memorial celebration. Is that true? Ooh. I don't know, Bubba. I didn't hear that. A shooting? Maybe. I mean, dude, there's shootings every day. People have guns. They're gonna. Oh, you want to hear something gnarly? So I'm watching Angel Baseball versus New York Yankees yesterday with my dad last night, and a sonic boom smashed our boom, a big old sonic boom, dude. It scared the shit out of me. I think my PTSD went off, and my dogs went wild. My mom, dad were like, "What the fuck is that?" I pulled out my gun. I hop over my fence because it came right from our backyard. I was about to clap some cheeks. I looked out, nothing happened. I don't know what it was. It sounds like a fucking explosion. But it was SpaceX. They launched a missile here in California, and the sonic boom was so loud, dude. Boom! It scared the Jesus out of me. I thought it was either a bomb. It didn't sound like a gunshot, but it was a bomb, or I thought it was a very bad car accident. But it was a sonic boom, man. Boom! Those things are loud, dude. I don't know. I didn't hear that, Bobo. Maybe. People are crazy, People are crazy. Isn't Cali that? Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I didn't hear about that memorial shooting or anything. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. There's shootings every day. The news gets to pick and choose which ones they, white kid did this to a Asian kid, or a black kid did this, or 99.999% of the day you'll never hear a gunshot in your life out here. I don't know. I didn't hear that. That would suck ass if that did. That would blow. Freaking Elon Musk and SpaceX, man, scared the Jesus out of me last night. Talk about having PTSD, dude. I was like, that's a bomb, dude. That's a bomb. Like someone, but I don't know what they hit. I was like, they hit the Costco down the street, man. Yeah. There was no target of opportunity, but that's why I was like, there's no way. And this morning, my dad was like, oh yeah, it was a SpaceX, the Falcon 9 rocket. Dude, that SpaceX program in California has almost gave me a heart attack and almost got me in a car accident. Like 10 years ago, man, they launched another rocket, and me and some Asian dude stopped right in front of me and got out of his car, like the scene in Independence Day, and he points. I was like, what the hell are you doing, man? I almost nailed this guy in the back. And I was like, oh, and I kind of like do one of these things. It's wild, dude. It looked like I couldn't even tell. Yeah, like, if someone sees a UFO, like, you'll never be able to recognize it because it's out of our, the way we build things out of our periodic table. You'll look at it and you'll never be able to describe it because it'll do stuff that's never been invented. You won't be able to describe what you're seeing. Like, dictators in Africa. I saw a video that, this one girl and the guy are having a conversation about Africa, and this girl's blaming, all her problems on everybody else, and then the guy goes, "Why don't you guys do maintenance?" And they speak the same, like, Afrikaan language or whatever, and she goes, "I don't know. There's no word for maintenance, That's how the Middle East is too. It's weird, man. I think it was Germany. I heard about the driver plowing through. Oh yeah, dude. Was that in Germany? Yeah, it's freaking. Yeah, I mean, people. A weapon's a weapon, and people will use a car as a weapon. If that guy in Germany could buy a rifle and use the rifle instead of the car, he would do that, but it's, well, I mean, give or take, it's target of opportunity. You'll just grab, in China, they got knife stabbings in kindergartens and stuff. It's wild. You can't stop crazy, man. You just got to maintain it, and hopefully you got good citizens that outnumber the craziness. Then you become the citizens, dude. That sucks, man. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, I hate to say it. I don't feel sorry for people. I really don't. It's if you bring it on yourself, if you voted that way, then you can't get mad at what you vote for. Just like in the UK, there's like no-go zones in the UK, isn't there? Pretty common in Europe, dirty money. Why? Oh God. Yeah, so crazy people use cars or trucks or whatever they can get their hands on. They'll find an opportune target and plow through it, man. That sucks, dude. Didn't Germany ban? Germany got a little. Germany, I hate to say it, but Germany needs to become Germany again. Yeah. We need Germany to start being the Texas of Europe. How's Denmark, Bobo? Did you guys allow a bunch of crazy people into your state too? Like, I know Germany had its fair share, but I think Germany started banning the Palestinian flag and the burqa or whatever, the trash bag these young ladies wear over their face. A lot of dudes will dress up in that gown too, not just women. A lot of men will dress up in that the trash bag outfit and pretend that they're women. Yeah, no one ever thought about that. You never think about that, right? You think about that. If you're living out there and you maybe want to do something wrong or need to sneak away somewhere, you dress in the trash bag and you go walk around. No one will. There's a reason. All evil needs to succeed is for the good to stand aside. Yeah. And I think a lot of Americans are getting fed up with that shit, man. Like I keep hearing on black fatigue, like the whole racist card, it died, man. It died out here a long time ago, but it really died. Someone says I'm racist or so what? Okay, fuck it. Whatever, dude. Like, that shit don't work no more. Or how people compare what's happened in Ukraine or Russia, World War II, World War III all over. No one knew World War II was going to happen until it happened. No one else said, oh, Hitler's going to start another world war. All that. It's all that woke, progressive. I'll make you look like the bad. It's communism, man. That's what communists do. They'll make you look like the bad guy, and so they can get, personal attacks. Yeah, I keep seeing black fatigue and woke fatigue, and it's true, man. It's true. Over the last, ever since I've been alive, over the last, say, 50 years, who do you look up to? What person or what group of people does people look up to, or do I look up to? What, are we in awe of it? And the answer is no, man. If you don't bring anything to the table, you're out. And I think a lot of people are starting to understand that and get that, The Amish are good peeps. We need the Amish. We need everyone, but you gotta, it's tiring, man. I'm tired of, and I start seeing videos of people like trying to steal, and then just regular good old civilians stopping them, It's just tiring, man. I'm tired of the wokeness, of the ladyboyness. Everyone's tired of hearing it on the news, in real life. Everyone needs to start taking responsibility for their actions, and there's a lot of people that don't do that and then get offended. And it's fatigue, man. Everyone's tired of this shit. Gotta go, Warriors. Hey, Dirty Money, take care, brother. Stay safe. Semper Fi, man. Semper freaking Fi. I'm a hustler from South Africa, and I really need your help. All right, well, good luck in South Africa, brother. I'm in the good old U of A. If I help you, what do I get out of it? Probably nothing. And not to sound mean or anything, but you can't give me anything that I want. So I'm going to excuse myself from helping you, and I'm just going to step to the left, brother. There's nothing you can give me that would convince me to help you. Why would I help you? I don't know you. Stranger danger, right, buddy? It's okay to cry, let it all out, brother. I am William. What's up, Tristan? Thank you for your service. I'm sorry you feel that way about... oh, man. I think you need some help, just like the Democrats, to actually make a damn bit of difference. I don't... Ladyboys, dude, I live in California. There's no such thing as ladyboys out here. I hate to say it, fellas. Have you seen Mean Girls? Have you seen that Disney Lindsay Lohan IHOP story? Girls in California are effing mean. If you don't, a girl in California, born and raised in California. You think girls in California are going to be nice to a lady boy? It's not me you got to worry about, man. The California women out here are different. And then it don't matter. But thank you, Tristan. I appreciate your kind words for my service, man. Yeah, if you want to fight and die for lady boys, that's the way you want to vote, more power to you. But I'm not going to die on that sword for a bunch of weirdos with a mental illness. What's up, Love Hustler? Yeah, you're the South African. Yeah, man. Try to get asylum here if you're a farmer. We'll pick you up. Imagine, that's what I'm saying, man. There's more to, if you want to fight and die for ladyboys and all this other woke nonsense, like, that's more power to you, man. I want you to do that, but America voted completely opposite, and it's just tiring, man. Like, I love you, Tristan, but if you want to fight for that, you're going to be fighting alone, because it's not really real, man. I live in California. My graduating high school class was about 1,000 people. My brother's graduating class was like 1,200, probably a little more. All different races, religions, and creeds, and yet there's not one person that's a ladyboy out here. And I live in democratic hellhole of California, man. Not one. Not that I know of. And I know a lot of people. You grow up in California, you're going to know a lot of people. That's all that weird. Oh, dude, you guys see? Holy moly, you guys see that? The Hollywood is toast. Hollywood's toast. All that woke crap in Hollywood's gone, dude. The AI regeneration. Do you guys see that? How good it is, dude. They're gonna make some killer movies, man. And you don't gotta pay no actors. You don't gotta pay into the unions. That's. Oof. The AI is gonna be something different. I'll tell you what. Why should you be granted special treatment because you manipulate your family's jewelry? Yeah, people want to be a victim, right? So people want to play. The minute someone wants to be a victim, they won't take responsibility. Man, there's this one quote I saw this morning. It was beautiful. I'm gonna write it down. It's amazing. It's, play victim. They don't take responsibility. There's no traditions. It's this weird. It's communism, man. That is how communism works. It's people. It's making you feel bad because of something that happened a long time ago, dude. If you want to cut off your ding dong and cut off your cha-chas, dude, more power to you. I'm gonna make fun of you. Like, straight up, bro. I'm gonna make fun of you. I will make fun of you until someone cuts my tongue out, Never. The Victim Olympics are amazing. Hey, what's up, brother? Nice hug, brother. Semper Fi. Yeah, dude. The Victim Olympics, yeah. And they just, people don't like to take responsibility, man. People don't like to take responsibility. It's playing victim, It's sad. But it makes my, if I see a lady boy walking around, I'm probably gonna make fun of him or her, whoever it is. It's that simple. That's why, I don't know, man. I live in Southern California, boys, and I know I graduated not that long ago. And my nephews go to school now, and I've been around high schools and coached football, throughout. So I have not seen one, because you would get made fun of so bad if you try to pull that shit in when kids are super mean. My nephews are at that stage where they don't know how to lie. So dude, my nephew called me fat. That little bastard. He's like, dude, uncle, you look fat. And I was like, fuck you, man, you little bitch. I chased his little ass down. I was like, get over here, Ryder. His name's Ryder. He's a little 7-year-old dude. Dude, kids are so mean, dude. That's why I don't happen. And that's why I tell people, man, you think I'm mean or I make fun of you, you got to meet the girls I grew up with. Them bitches are mean. if you didn't have a jugular on your chest, dude, the chicks that had bigger runt-wrongs, dude, they would make fun of, dude. I don't know where this happens. Like all that woke stuff, I'm not sure where it happens. I'm really not sure. I'm sure it happens in LA. I don't know, but you go to LA, like you think in Compton, you think in downtown Inglewood or Watts, they have lady boys play on the Compton High School football team? I don't think so. You know, how about Huntington Beach? There's a high school, or Edison. It's the, they just won a high school football state championship out here for a public school. You think it's right by the beach. You think that school has a bunch of trannies? Well, no way, dude. No way. No way. You know how hot those girls are that live around? Oh, dude, these chicks wear in thongs all day, It's about to be summer, boys. I had kids simply just say, just so I had someone to consistently... What's up, Jason? Constantly to pick on. Dude, I wanted kids so I could pick on them, you little bastards. Talk to me when you... Yeah, Ryder. Hey, a little mook, dude. He's a little mook. Dude, he's a smart ass, dude. The kid's funny, dude. Kid's funny, smart ass though. I had kids simply so I can have someone to consistently pick on. Dude, it's true. Yeah, dude, they have no filter, man. No filter. The older one, he's about to turn 10. His name's Jax. He's a smart cookie, man. Just one of those kids. Like guys, I'm not a father. I don't pretend to be. But he's one of those kids you kind of like. He knows what's up. He's not a fool. And there's something about him where he's very you can talk to him like a normal adult. He can play, with his toys, but he can switch, If he needs to be an adult, he can be an adult real quick, And then if he doesn't ask, and he remembers things, man, it's weird. It's amazing, man. Like you see his little brain turn, and then you got to watch what I say. I can't have my racial slurs in my back pocket all the time, because he's gonna repeat them outside, and he has to know it's for fun, and he's gonna say it, and he's not gonna be funny about it, So I got the music, it's kind of it's hilarious, dude. I'm 54. I haven't had a filter since high school. I'm bringing ever since I got out of corporate America, man, and I've been trying to get my voice back there, James, because I had to bite my tongue a lot in corporate America, and you don't want to get, I just wanted to get paid and leave, so my smart-assness is coming back, I guess. I had kids simply just so I... 54, I haven't had a filter since high school, dude. I went through a weird stage, man. Like, I never had a filter, especially in the Marine Corps and the military, and working with inmates out here in California. You got to be thick-skinned, quick off the rip. You got to have a bunch of comebacks, talking shit to inmates or Haji's, it don't matter. But I lost it, man. I really did work in corporate America, and I want it back. That was even one of my I don't know how to explain it, but I'm trying Well, another reason why I started this video, man, or this podcast, or streaming, because I needed I forget how it was to speak in a military tone, not giving. I miss it, dude. I miss that tone. It was so fun. I'm working back to it, boys. I'm working back to it. I was filtered by the Marine Corps, enough said. I had the complete opposite. And when I was in the Marine Corps, I was never filtered. I was rude, I was loud. I was amazing at comebacks, I was the biggest smart ass. Well, I over the years, man, I just kind of, it's not even worth talking, and I kind of lost who I was a little bit, So I'm trying to get that mojo back. I'm lifting weights, trying to, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like I lost myself over the years of conference calls. Oh my God, I want to fucking punch myself in the ding dong. I can't do another conference call. Oh my God. Corporate meetings and conference calls where you got to sit there, and then there's always one person at the end of the fucking meeting that asks about 50 questions when they're the dumbest fucking questions ever. It's like, dude, one person would always raise their hand and ask the dumbest questions at every meeting. Every meeting, you knew this. Oh my God. In the Marine Corps, dude, this is how it happens in the Marine Corps. After someone like Sergeant says, "Hey, any questions? No dumb question, or no questions dumb or whatever." Dude, and if you raised your hand, someone was gonna hit you really fucking hard. Like someone was gonna take off their boot and hit you in the head with it. If no one did that after, you were gonna pay the consequence for holding everybody up because you asked a dumb fucking question. Like in every question you ask after these meetings, you can just ask your sergeant or your corporal or your buddy sitting next to you. But people like to hear themselves talk and want to be smart. And hey, so if I do this, could this happen? It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. I want to go home. See, I miss talking like that. I used to talk like that. But in corporate, I can't say that to another employee. But in the Marine Corps, if one of my Marines lifted up their hand, I'm like, hey, put your fucking hand down, What's your, dude, I would make them, what was your question? And they would say, well, if it would start with if or but, it's like, no. Now you're getting all weird, Well, what if I do this? Would this still work? I don't know, man. What if Santa flew around with coal instead of presents? Would kids still be naughty or nice? What are we talking about here? Why I love construction, didn't have me mind my... Yeah, man, it'd be... And then, like, construction, I can see construction because you're kind of working in a dangerous spot. The more dangerous it is, the less P's and Q's you got to speak about, right? The less bull crap, In my job, it was super... I worked for a tobacco company, so, no one got hurt. There's no possible chance of getting hurt, really. But, yeah, there's no, dude, all right, an hour-long presentation, a PowerPoint slide, and you're standing, and the guy's reading every slide one by one, click. Oh, the clicker's broken. Oh, gotta fix the clicker. Oh, gotta wiggle the mouse because all right, 2 hours go by. Does anyone have any questions before we move on or before we get dismissed and go to dinner or our lunch break? Well, I got a question. What if this happens? Well, what if this happens? It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, no one cares. Why do you care about your job so much, right? Like, I don't ask any questions because I don't care. That's retarded. Damn, now the kid with ADHD needs therapy. The 90s were the best. Nobody was sensitive. 90s were hard. You in the 90s, you had to grow up pretty tough. You had to grow up pretty pretty tough. 80s and 90s, I would say. Then I grew up in the, I was in 1990. I was 4. Well, in the late 90s. I mean, dude, I grew up with gangster rap, dude. I grew up with Tupac and Notorious B.I.G., NWA. Like, my music I listened to was wild, at young age. But we all loved it, man. Like, still love those music, though. I mean, good music. 90, I was fighting the Taliban. Woof. Isn't that weird? Jason, you're fighting the Taliban in the 90s. I was fighting the Taliban in the 2000s. And the Taliban are still in charge. I don't think we failed. Well, the Taliban are still in charge. So the military didn't fail. The politicians decided that's cool. In the military, me, Jason, we're in the military. I feel like we absolutely destroyed any hope. But they're still in charge. I don't know, man. Weird. Kind of weird to think about it like that, huh? And we're still fighting them today. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I don't know why. Like, what happened? But that's from, I mean, just my wild guess. That's from bringing political bullcrap into a war. We're trying to play nice with these guys, and it's a very uneven match. I always say it's the 2017 or the undefeated 18-0 Patriots versus a JV freshman football team in high school. That's how I think our military is compared to everyone else. So it's weird, man. I don't know why they're still. I don't know. And honestly, that's why Trump is making all these deals with the Middle East, right? If you think about it, like, we spent 20 years fighting the Taliban just to replace the Taliban with the Taliban. And instead of fighting them, let's just make deals, business deals with everyone surrounding the countries we don't like. And we can have Saudi Arabia deal with this shit, That's what I love Saudi Arabia. They could do whatever they want. I don't care if the 9/11 bombers came from Saudi Arabia. Whatever, dude. The prince could walk around butt naked at the White House for all I care. Only 2 escapes left on the loose 9 that were caught. Oh, good. Only 2 left. Yeah, they're not getting far, dude. A bunch of dudes running around from prison. It ain't gonna work. And people like that think the world's real big, dude. The world's real small. You're not gonna go far. Everything's serialized in America. All the house, like, you can't. The world's super small. I mean, the world's the ocean's small now. I mean, it's like there's no pirates. The pirates will get caught. You can't even travel the oceans and someone will find you. Like, you'll get caught. There's no more Billy the Kid or train robbers or carjacker. And there's cameras everywhere. It's just time. You can commit the crime, you can do some harm, but this world's real small, man. Osama bin Laden, we knew where that guy was for like 10 years before we killed him. We found Saddam in a rat hole. In his hometown. Who would have thought? By his house, his old house. Who would have thought? You can't run. We'll find you. You look like Ralphie Nadal. Oh, Nadal. the tennis player, right? I someone told me that a long time ago, dude. That's the only I've gotten two look like. Yeah. I was playing semi-pro football. I got home from Iraq and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go play football on the weekends because I was so bored. Um, I met a guy that I was playing football. He that's what he told me. He's like, dude, you look like that Nadell guy. And I remember he told me that. That was a long time ago. And then, hey, man, I think I still think I know who you're talking about. I get them mixed up. Thank you, I guess. Is it the hair? I don't know. Yeah, I got only one person. That's weird, man. I've never heard that since. But A1, Super 5, brother. Thank you. For all those who say we destabilize the Middle East with our assault on Saudi Arabia must have missed the point that we succeeded in creating a new democracy in the unstable nation. Dude, the princes, dude, we keep those guys in power. They keep, they keep all the craziness in check. Because, the guys, you can only rule people that, you relate to. Even with Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, the EAU, Jordan, Egypt, I don't really care about any other one saying, but they we do great business with all those and we got to start telling them, man, we can't have like Saudi Arabia. We got to keep empowering them to handle their business, because the Saudi princes, those guys are all about money and shit. Like, those guys are all about money and probably prostitutes and building stupid big old mega structures that don't amount to anything. Dubai, dudes in there, they're they like their fancy stuff, and they're not radical religious people. Yeah, bro, with your hair back like that with the hat, and you got a tennis fit on. So thank you, man. I will thank you, brother, the whole package. Yeah, man, I've only gotten one other person, but I've gotten that guy once, and then one other person. But I actually it was the guy from Twilight, because I did my hair a certain way, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, and we went to what's her name, guys? You know her name. It's a talk show. It's a lady. She's like 60 now, and she's single. She talks about like banging a bunch of dudes, and she wakes up and bangs herself. Oh my God, she was funny. Blonde girl, white chick. I went to one of her shows. What is her name? She's a Democrat, hardcore Democrat now. She's a real big bitch now. Yes, A1, dude. Chelsea lately. Yes, I went to one of her. Michelle Obama? No. No, I went to Chelsea lately. Yeah. Me and my girlfriend went there once. A long time ago. This was like, oh my God, I was still in the Marine Corps. So we went to her talk show when she wasn't political. Obama was in, like Bush just ended. No one talked about politics on late night shows. And it was like at noon, we went there, and the way I had my hair, I was in the military, so I had it cut, and then like I kind of spiked it just like the dude in Twilight. And I was probably super tan. I'm Mexican, so I can get real dark if I'm in the sun a lot. I get real dark Mexican. So being in the Marine Corps, you're always there. So I was darker than shit, and I had my hair kind of like in a faux hawk. And she goes, "Oh, you look like the dude." And there's always a comedian walking around this stand. So you're always clapping or fake laughing, so it's really weird. But that was the only time someone said I looked like someone else. So only 2 people, man. Hey, not bad though. I'll take. I like the tennis guy. I like the tennis guy. My second guess was Lindsay Lohan. Dude, A1, you got it, dude. Yeah. Ask the cop who pulled over the Prince of Saudi Arabia. Saudi now has to get a new job for causing international incident with the foreign nation. An American cop? I got to look that up, dude. I don't know. I didn't hear that, Jason. I got to look that. What's up, T-Wows? Bro, get off the truck and go back to flip. What? Bro, get off the truck and do a backflip. I got 5. Oh, I can't. I can't do no flip. I can't even pretend to do a backflip, brother. My knees would explode. A Cali cop? No. Cali cops are morons, dude. They're good, but, what an idiot. What an idiot. I bet I get darker and I'm full white. Dude, I'm sure you do, man. I get that, yeah, maybe, probably, man. T-Wow, I can't do no backflip, brother. I can't do no backflip. I'm too old, and even in my prime, I'm not a guy that can flip. It takes agility, man. I'm all about going straight, fast and furious. I got one move left to right, and that's it, man. But I'm not quick, nor am I acrobatic? ? Are you an American soldier, bro? Can you tell me some fight stories in the military with your brothers? Yeah, I'm an American soldier is someone that's in the Army. An American, sailor or squid is in the Navy. Chair Force or Air Force guy, girl is a wingman or they call them wingmen. I think is Air Force. Marine's a Marine. I was in the Marine Corps, so we call each other Marines. If you want the Marines, you get the Marines. A war story. I gotta think about it. I gotta get in the mood to talk about it. It's not like it's sad or I'm gonna get sad or, depending on what story. But I like telling it in a funny light, and I don't feel like I'm funny right now. I gotta be in that mood to think about it. Jason would bring up a subject, and I would be, oh, dude, this one time, a war story, man. So, just a funny one. How in the Middle East, their religion frowns upon females and women and makes them wear trash bags and there's like incest and grape, the word that rhymes with grape everywhere. If you're a female and you're screwed, you're done. You're just a piece of meat. So any like real piece of work or piece of shit, dude, that we would capture, or anyone that we really didn't like, we would have we have females in the military, because females can drive, they can also pull a trigger. It's not that, unless they're trying to like do, it doesn't matter. But this one girl I rolled with, her name was Jessica, and we would call her Jessica. We would get this piece of shit, dude that came from Afghanistan or wherever in the world, and we would put the female in charge of the real piece of crap, dude. And yeah, they didn't like that stuff. We would have her search them. We would have her handcuff them. A little torture, psyop torture. That's what I giggle at, you know. No, dude, shit, they fucking hated it. You know, a female, a nasty, infidel female, you know, grabbing them and telling them where to go and telling them to shut the fuck up. Dude, this girl was a hard charger too, man. So, and she was, you know, she came from Brown Pride, man. She Viva la Raza, so she would speak to Spanish in this dude. It was fun, man. We had our own ways of torturing people without actual torture, you know. We just have the female do all the work. Allegedly. They can also come out the field every 3 days to do hygiene, where us men stay out there for weeks at a time. Yeah, they get special, they get special weird treatment. Most issues are handled in-house between two people. Yes, sir. Been mistaken for Hispanic many times by construction. Oh yeah, man. If you're going brown and you're working construction, people are gonna assume you're Spanish, dude, or Mexican for sure, dude. My grandpa was telling me stories of barracks fights with the higher rankings. Yeah. You know, you would get into arguments with higher rankings, but most, you know, the thing is with me and the boys I was with and the higher ups, man, we were going to war. Our job was to find IEDs planted in the ground, clear buildings, clear streets, you know, go to, if something happened in my area of operation, we would go out there and handle the situation, whatever it was. If we were hit by an IED or hit with an ambush, we would either assault through the objective or just punch out, just keep going. So the argument, you know, the bickering really stopped because we all thought we were gonna die. You know, every mission you go on, it's, you know, you say goodbye to your loved ones and you hug your boys. You know, we would me and my boys, me and all the gunners on the Humvee, you know, we're sitting in the gunner spot. You know, we would always hug each other before we got in our vehicles, and we would always tell each other bye. And so, you know, doing that and thinking about that all the time, there was no really fighting between, you know, we worked really good because the higher ups knew also, like, you know, if I'm an asshole to Matt, a lot of holes in the desert, brother, you know. You know, if something happened and I saw my commanding officer taking rounds over there, I'm like, like the guy was kind of an a-hole, I might not even help him. That's a true way of thinking. That's a true way of thinking. Absolutely. People, I'm talking about myself too. Like, if I thought like that, then for sure someone else would think like that. You know, I'm not that special where I'm the only one that thinks like, my staff sergeant's an a-hole. If he gets hit with an IED, I may or may not save his life because he's a dick. Yeah. If you're a dick, like, people might have to save your life and they might not, you know. Not banned, but legal to use brass knuckles. Yeah. Blades start becoming legal beyond 3 inches or double blade. Yeah, they're not banned. I have brass knuckles, but if you use brass knuckles are like a thing you use, like if someone breaks in your house or like the world end, like you shouldn't be using it at your local bar fight. You could, dude, the brass knuckles, you destroy someone's face. Like, they'll never be the same. You punch someone in the mouth, dude, their teeth will get pushed. They're all out, and his jaw will get. It's not worth it. You're using, but you can buy them. Yeah, I used to go down to Mexico, and we would buy brass knuckles and butterfly knives or switchblades and M80s when I was like 10 years old. So I still have a butterfly knife, you know, like the old greasers. And my switchblade broke, so I threw it away a long time ago. You know, the button. And M80s, yeah, you know. But yeah, you can just buy them in Mexico and bring them across. Or you could probably just order it online. to be honest. Can't use them in self-defense because they're a weapon. So technically, you can't use them at all in the combat. No. I mean, if you're in the military and you're in combat, yeah. But like in the States, if you have, if you get pulled over and you have a set of brass knuckles in your car, you'll probably get a fine for it, and the cops will take it away because it's brass knuckles remind me of a. Yeah, it's just too much, dude. Like a weapon should be used to disarm or disable your combatant or an enemy. You're not trying. Like you when you go hunting, you shoot a deer to kill the deer. You don't shoot the deer to maim it or make it weak or make it suffer, right? So same with brass knuckles. If I'm fighting you, I need to get to point B as fast as I can. And if I'm using brass knuckles, that's like torture, dude. They work fantastic though. They work fantastic. If I'm going to fight someone, I got to end it quickly. And it's kind of like honor, dude. Like, there's no honor in war. Well, there kind of is, you kind of have to be the bigger person. If I'm fighting someone and you knock them out and that's it, right? One punch, boom, done, walk away. You know what you're doing. You're the bigger man. The guy's done. You walk away. You don't stand on top of him and start crushing his face, right? Kind of with brass knuckles, man. If I'm gonna use a weapon, get the weapon for the job. I'm not trying to hit you and then have half your face split and then hit you again to put you down. It's I can. Brass knuckles is like having a big rock in your hand. Yeah, it's like just get a gun. If you can just use a gun or a knife. Knife is. I mean, if you want to hurt the person, just get a knife. It's a lot easier. If you want to if you want to end the person's life, you get the tool for the job. If you want to inflict as much harm and damage to your enemy, use brass knuckles. And when you have to use a weapon, you want to use it fast and be done. You don't want to have to keep assaulting through. So brass knuckles are good; they do the job, but it's almost too much for what you're trying to do. If you're fighting just with knuckles, that means he doesn't have a weapon either. And then you put on a weapon. Then you're like, oh, okay, now, are you trying to affect as much damage, hit points as possible? Or are you trying to end the fight? Let's end the fight, end the war. Something like that. Usually only takes me 2 hits. I'll hit you, then hit the ground. Yeah, war is different, yeah. Yeah, war, you could do that. My buddy had brought a little samurai sword, man. He had his day pack. And, those straps on a backpack that you can kind of tie stuff to. He would have that right there. And he would bring it with him, dude. The dude was a kook. The samurai sword. But anyways, boys, I'm going to head out. I got some things to do, people to see. I got to turn in this package. I taught myself how to build a used rock sling. I could throw a rock beyond 30 feet, 100 meters with decent accuracy. You've been training for a year now. Dude, like dude, a slingshot, that'd kill you, man. That would straight up kill you. That would a rock to the head, man. Peace out, stay. Yeah, I'm out here, boys. Bobo, Jason, Simplify, James, if you're still there. AI, man, nice to meet you. Come back anytime, brother. You're always welcome into the Devil's Compound, brother. We got a lot of vets, a lot of good peeps, a lot of people from all over the world coming in and just hanging out. So come back and hey, Sean, what's up, brother? Simplify, man. I got to get going, man. But I'm glad you guys all came in and said hi. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow, I'll be on tomorrow, too. I got a bunch of doctor's appointments, and I got to go to the VA hospital again and get all that situated. That'll be my life for the next year, for sure. But I'm out of here, boys. You guys take care and Semper Fi.